Hi. Alright, so I'm actually gonna go probably on like a mini video parade until I tire myself out. Because I actually intend to sleep tomorrow. Tonight. Ugh. So yeah, alright, so I answered the first one was what do I look for in a significant other. So actually I wanna do what are my thoughts on relationships before I do the next one, and that's just because that's actually like really long and I wanna write stuff out. So my thoughts on relationships with this, and that is that a relationship should honestly have no rules and that are not defined by the people involved. Okay, look, this is gonna drive me crazy. So to me, it's that people get in relationships and they use what is considered like society's standards of what a relationship is. And to me, relationships in any capacity, whether they're romantic or whether they're monogamous, polyamorous, like ethical non-monogamy, polygamist, what I'm saying, or just different, like a BDSM relationship or something. Any relationship has rules, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think that they should be defined by what society says is normal, right, yes, wrong, all this other stuff. Because society pretty much does say that you should never call a person a bitch, i.e. a woman. But I actually know plenty of women, especially in the BDSM lifestyle, who actually like being called sluts and bitches. Again, only in that area though. You tell that to somebody else, and they'd be like, "That person don't respect you. You need to get someone else." No, to me, and I've been doing so much relationship counseling this summer. It's been ridiculous. Relationship to me is really whatever you want to make it, but it's most some of the basic things that you generally end up including that I think are important is that you need to have trust of some kind of capacity. You may not trust them with your entire life. That's completely fine. You can be married for 25 years. I don't even know where people get this idea that when you marry someone is if they're the only. Okay, I have another rant about that, and that's my issue with being in monogamous relationships. Yeah. So my issue is that people get in relationships and there's this weird thing that like it's like this expectation similar to when you get married that what happens in the that the only person becomes the person becomes your only confidant. You know what I'm saying? As if nobody else in this world matters, you found your soulmate and that is all the person you ever need to talk to. And I would go crazy trying to deal with the same person all the time. Ain't got time for that, okay? I can't. That's just me personally. So to me, it's like there needs to be an element of trust, but that does not mean you need to literally trust them with every single thing that you think in your life. There's just some things people don't need to know. I mean, like I don't care if you've been married for 98 years. Not really, but I'm married for like 50 years. Even couples who've been married that long, there's some things they just don't tell their partners. They tell their best friends. They tell their preacher, rabbi, whoever is in their life, I guess. Dog, therapist. So it's just like you don't have to tell that person every single thing about your life. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's just as long as you have some element of trust. Um, Communication. That's always. It doesn't matter anything. That's like the only thing I honestly say has to happen in a relationship. That you have to be able to communicate. Because to me, it's like if you can't communicate, then there is no relationship. Then you deal with that whole. So I saw you with some text messages, and you're like, so when you're like, who you talking to? You're like, why are you in my face? And it usually doesn't end well. So, I'm like, you should be able to communicate. What are your boundaries? What are your concerns? I'm not saying it's say how long do you expect the relationship to last, because that's something. No, I'm only in this for about like a year and 3 months. No, I just want to call out. But what I'm saying is you can specify that I'm looking for short-term dating, long-term dating. Who even knows? I don't even know. But to me, it's like if you need to lay down in the beginning, like I will not tolerate calling after this time. I will not tolerate jealousy. I will not tolerate or extreme jealousy. I will not tolerate being called these things. I will not tolerate you doing these things. You can't. Please don't touch me there. Don't do this. Tell what your boundaries are and what their boundaries are, and reach compromises. Number three is that you should be able to trust, communication, and compromise. That is really like I think more or less all you actually need in a relationship, and that is that you both have to be willing to make sacrifices to make it work. And honestly, the extent from what you want out of it, whether you want it to be, a master slave relationship, in which somewhat like a total power exchange, and someone has absolutely every piece of control over almost every decision that you make. And some people say that's wrong. I'm like, some people live that life. I'm not going to pass judgment because for some people, they really legitimately just want to be told. It's the most simplistic living ever. Like, honestly, have you ever thought about that? When someone told you exactly what you do, you wouldn't have to do any extra thinking. I think it's pretty relaxing. I wouldn't do it like maybe all the time, but I think it's pretty relaxing. So honestly, as long as there's some sense of communication, compromise, and trust, then honestly, you can build your relationship however you want. Um, Now, domestic violence, where the intent is actually to harm someone, that's like, to me, it's never good. Like, it's one thing if it's consensual, but it's different when it's non-consensual, and that honestly is like always a deal breaker. That isn't a, oh my goodness, let's no, that's a deal breaker like almost all the time. So, um, anything that's gonna like really harm you, if you know the relationship's gonna harm you, that is when I think you should call it quits. But as for that, I honestly think people should have the ability to define their relationships in any way. I don't think that a man should and a woman should and that a dom should and well, no, even then, But it's like I don't think that there should be any requirements on what this person should do and this person should do. I mean, that is all up to whatever you guys decide because you're the two that are making this commitment, and it's up to you. I mean, I even honestly, commitment, like actual like fidelity, isn't even have to be a requirement. Like some people actually don't want their partners and don't care if their partners are sexually like monogamous. Some people really don't care. Some people enjoy that, and they don't mind, because the relationship extends past that. Especially if one of the partners is asexual, what I'm saying? They know their partner isn't asexual, and they're like, you can do whatever you want, because I'm not interested in that. That's fine. Like I said, I don't pass judgment on your relationships. The only time I ever think I honestly should intervene is if you guys are going to the point where you're throwing down, and it's like perpetual throwdowns, and it's affecting everybody else's life. Someone's being harmed, or you can tell that the relationship really isn't working out because it's actually causing a lot of destruction and chaos. And that is when I think there's a problem. But other than that, I honestly think people should be able to make the rest. Just all you need is trust, commitment, sorry, my brain's still awake, trust, communication, and compromise. And out of that, it's all up to you. So that's what I think. And feel free to honestly let me know what your opinion is. And I would love video responses. Oh my goodness, I would die if someone did that. I would die all over the place. So, yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!